Hi guys, it's John Mansell, ex-Booze Hound. Happy New Year. For my New Year's vlog, I've decided to come back to the exact bench where the first vlog was done, while I was still wearing my sunglasses, because I didn't want you to see the windows to my soul, my eyes. And obviously at the moment, as I said on the last couple of vlogs, I'm not actually sure which way I'm meant to look on this phone, so you probably can't see directly into my eyes anyway. So, 2022, what a crap year. For very many reasons, for many people. Personally, well, the start of the year weren't brilliant, so I was manic for a couple of months. Then we lost John Einstein, and then I lost the plot a little bit further, and then the NHS got involved, and my new care coordinator Mark has been amazing, and I think I wanted to say that because, you know, people see me as relatively strong, and I should have asked for help prior to the NHS getting involved and stuff like that, but I didn't. I just pushed and pushed and pushed the mania, and I pushed it too far and lost the plot. So 2022 is out of the way, and in the last sort of 4 months of 2022, I'm becoming very positive about 2023. Now, some of you might know I've got my birth date tattooed on me. 1973 when I was born. I know that's hard to believe. 2003 when I was reborn because I got sober, and 2013 when I got when I had my mental breakdown, and really truly first time in my life started living my life truly and honestly and openly about my mental illness, and in doing so it liberated me, and it freed me. It's been bloody difficult, don't get me wrong, it has been really difficult, but 2023 I'd like, and I think I'm going to have that tattooed on me at some point this year, because I do think 2023 is going to be a positive year, and that's for many reasons. One, can't be much worse than last year, can it? Let's be honest. And two, another one is, a lot of you will pull a face at this, but we've been actually doing some really positive work and really positive talking in meetings about, in particular, Dudley Adult Social Care, Dudley Integrated and Health Care, who I wasn't that keen on originally, but they listened to our initial issues and have addressed them, and I'm working, I'm doing some stuff on a co-production sort of level with them with regard to trying to get things right with regard to Dudley Integrated Health and Care, which is really important because it's about health and social care together, which is really important. So we've got Dudley Adult Social Care, Dudley Integrated Health and Care, ADAS, which is the Association of Directors of Adult Social Services, and in particular West Midlands ADAS, which is obviously West Midlands Association of Directors of Adult Social Services. I came across a new organisation called the New Leaf Foundation only a couple of weeks ago. I think there's going to be some positive stuff there. There's so many that I can mention. The Empower, who I did a conference with back in June or July, and I've been following their stuff over the last few months, and they're really positive, and a lot of their guys are looking at my stuff because I can see it on the interactions. So there's a lot of really positive stuff going on. Now, it's not going to fix it overnight, but they are really genuinely, truly realising that they have to start working differently. They have to start thinking differently, and they are thinking differently. And in particular, those I've mentioned, they are not just using co-production. Now, if you don't know what co-production means, doesn't matter. Google it. It has lots of different meanings, but it's about working together, basically. And what I've said for a long time is co-production is only any good if it's actually led by people like me. And that's not me on my own, it's people with lived experience, or as I call myself, a life experience warrior. Because we are allowed to say the stuff that they just aren't allowed to say because they're held back by red tape. You know, some of the vlogs I've done recently with regard to calling the MPs moronic pillocks, you know, some of the people that I work with in these associations, in these organisations, they can't comment on stuff like that because they are you know, they work for these organisations. So I think in particular the other day when I met the New Leaf lot, they had specifically got in their mantra, you know, that it would be lived experience led, and that's what I found quite interesting about them. Now I met them through a guy called John Reed. Now hopefully with John and a couple of his colleagues we should be going into prisons. So that's another great thing, because obviously there's an awful lot of addiction and mental illness, you know, that causes issues for people in prisons. Now I know a lot of you will say, well, they've, you know, if they've done the crime, they've got to do the time. That's fair enough, but a lot of these people have got into crime because of their addiction or their mental illness and whatever. You know, I'm not here to justify their actions. The other thing that I want to add to the growing list is I really need some input from CAMHS, Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services. Now I've got a couple of contacts and I have made contact. We've had discussions and stuff like that. But let's be honest, right? You never, very rarely do you ever hear anything positive about CAMHS. And I can explain that, but I ain't going to bother. It's a very difficult job, and like everything else, they're understaffed. But it's a really important job, probably one of the most important departments, because it's about our children and our adolescents. And if we don't get them the support they need early enough, then we've lost that chance to get the early intervention in. And they just spiral out of control, and it gets harder and harder. So I want to get involved with CAMHS a lot more. So you know who you are, who know me out there with the CAMHS. Get in touch, and if you're dealing with CAMHS with your children or whatever at the moment, give me some feedback. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going right. Tell me what's going wrong. You know, if it's right, brilliant, I can tell them what they're doing right. If it's wrong, I'll tell them. I'll make sure they know that your child is being let down by them, and we'll get something moving. Someone said something to me a while back that it was something like it was really crap in tier 2 and much better in tier 3. I don't know what that means, but you know, it is what it is. And the other thing that I need from you guys this year is I'm going to need your support. You've supported me a lot over the years, and without you guys, X-Boozan wouldn't have been able to achieve what he's achieved. And I've just checked my vlog views on the way down here, and I've actually hit exactly 12,900 views. So sometime in 2023, hopefully early on, I'm going to hit 13,000, which is another number 3. So in 2023 I shall hit 13,000 views, and it's becoming a very important number. It's an important number spiritually. It's an important number for many reasons, but I am going to need your support. I am going to need your support to lean on. I am going to need your support to share my stuff to all the people you possibly can, because we have to pull this together. If we don't work together, you know, it may be that you don't suffer with any of these issues, but you know there's people that are out there that do. Just share it, please. It only takes a second, and if it can help one more person, or help one more person get in touch, and we can speak to the people who are running things and say, look, this is going wrong, that is going wrong, But this is going right, that is going right. Well done, brilliant, well done. You know, as I say, I sit here and say, you know, I was a bit pissed off with the interference by the NHS initially, and it was done because they could see I'd lost control on Twitter and that. But the outcome was amazing, because I got Mark, and he introduced me to a new medication in the middle, something called Depakote, which is a mood stabiliser added to my antidepressant, added to my antipsychotic, and it really has leveled my mood out. And the other interesting thing is I will very soon be publishing my 3rd book. Now, a number 3 again. We don't very often talk about the first book, because I was mad as a box of frogs when I did it, and after I published the first A to Z guide, I did think about changing the first book into a paperback as well, but I knew I couldn't face it. I knew I couldn't face reading the madness of the first book, so I left it alone. So the new A to Z guide of navigating mental illness, addiction and associated issues, part 2, will be published very soon. So there's lots of 3s in there. So we got Dudley Integrated Health and Care, Dudley Adult Social Care, Dudley Adult Social Care, and ADAS. You know, there's 3s all over the shop. But here we go. It's the first day of a new year, and some of you will be feeling pressured that, you know, this year's got to be different, this year's got to be that, this year's got to be this, I must do this, I must do that. Be realistic. All today is Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday, and tomorrow's Monday. You have to live, well, don't have to, but in order to, I think, to get through what we sometimes have to get through, and I'm not just talking about mentally, see, I'm talking about normals as well. To get through what life is throwing us at the moment, we have to take each day at a time. And I know there was something else I was going to say, but yeah, I think I've said enough. But yeah, if you can, get on and watch some vlogs. Even if you want to just leave them on in the background, just get me views up to 13,000 as quickly as I can. And I'll give you a shout when I publish the second A to Z guide, and hope you'll purchase it. And Sarah, last time you gave me a 4 out of 5. And you said I'll give you a 5 out of 5 when you do the second copy. Well, I'm going to hold you to that, and I get my 4.5 start rating up to 4.7 or 5, or getting closer to 5. Right, it's 2023. Come on then, let's have you. Whatever you throw at us, we're going to knock it out of the park. We're going to smash it. We're going to carry on with the great work that we were doing in 2022. And I know this probably, you know, genuinely, I don't blow smoke up anyone's posterior. Towards the end of 2022, you could see the positivity in adult social care, in integrated health and care, in ADAS, and many, many other things. People are realising that it's got to that level that if we don't do things differently, we don't stand a chance. And obviously COVID and all that has helped, has brought us here. We are, I don't like to say it anymore, it's broken, but the system is broken. But what we've got to look at is the system can be fixed, and it will be fixed, and it isn't rocket science. I've been fighting for many years under the same sort of, plugging on with the same thing over and over and over again, and the other people have been doing it as well, but the people in charge, the bosses, them, the powers that be, they know that we are right, and they are definitely on board, and we are going to make some big differences in 2023. We're going to make some life-changing, life-saving differences in 2023, and it's going to get better and better and better. Once we get this started, once we get these things rolling, it'll all start falling into place. So, motto as usual: enjoy the good and ride out the bad. Never give up. keep fighting, and together we lose. Together we win, and divided we lose. So let's all do this together. And I'll catch you all soon. Toodle pip.